Hello, farmers. It's Rever here, and I am back for another episode of Canadian National Map version 4.5. Here we are standing right on the front porch, just logged into the game, and I was taking a look around at what we need to do, and was also, I recently, just real recently, got a post from the Joker suggesting that in the settings, I was complaining in a past episode about how slow the camera turns. And just in case you guys didn't know, the camera sensitivity is how you can adjust that. So I don't know. I guess to me, camera sensitivity doesn't mean how fast you can turn, but I appreciate that comment. And then, so I turned that. He said he has his at 175. So if we go back and look, you can see I can turn much faster. So if you guys are like me, where you're turning at this snail's pace, I definitely appreciate that. I hope it doesn't cause any issues for recording or make anybody seasick when I'm spinning around like that. The other thing I wanted to mention is Carl Boyer has left a couple comments, and he was talking about these conveyors. And there's a few things that I didn't realize about them. And I don't know if I said anything in a past episode, so forgive me if I have. I think I have the conveyor over here, right? Oh, no, I brought the conveyor down there. Anyway, just so you know, you can get into the conveyor, the little part of the conveyor. I always thought you could just get into the big part of the conveyor. And, you can get into the little part and fold up the front hitch bar, I guess you might call it, and get that out of your way, and it kind of helps supposedly with the piles. Well, we'll give that a try. And Carl also helped us out with, a few different things. One, he had a video that explains that there's a tip collision map. So in other words, with the creation of being able to tip things anywhere, if you guys watched the last videos and saw in the fields where all of a sudden you get a big pile of crap, big pile of straw, or it doesn't dip, doesn't windrow, doesn't go down for a minute. You can they made it so that people can't tip just anywhere. Well, if guys are importing maps, what's basically happening is in certain maps they had that in there, and they need to recreate their tip collision map, which is, I guess you could look at it. Some guys talk about it as being layers. It's one of the map layers to say, no, you're not allowed to tip there. So out there in field 6, straight ahead of us, there must be some area. Now, I went into the map and I looked for that, and I didn't see it. I mean, I saw what, the link Carl sent was, but I didn't see any white area is basically what it comes down to, where you paint it white and you can't tip there. And then I also don't have, there's supposed to be some script to regenerate the thing. So I also need to update my Giants editor. So I'm hoping if I update it, I might be able to fix that. But also, if the map author happen to watch, that's what's going on supposedly, is that you have to actually, it's not just enough to erase the white area. Once you do that, you have to regenerate that layer. So the link in the one video there, one of the past recent videos, explains that. So thank you very much, Carl. And also, Carl was at it helping us again with explaining that the percentage on that conveyor is based. Oh, here, let's run down there. We're going to head that way anyway to fertilize field 3. There we go. And the percentage on the, it says turn percentage or something like that. Let's go see what it says. Something angle. It has to do with if you hire a worker to run the conveyor, he'll turn back and forth at that angle as he runs the conveyor. Now, I never knew you could do such a thing, so I never even thought of hiring a guy to run the conveyor, but I guess I have no idea how that would go. I'll have to give it a try. I'm not sure even when I would want to do that. But again, we can try it. So that's what I get for being not observant, right? I think sometimes I spend too much time paying attention to, when you go to record these videos, you pay a little more attention to what you're doing about the recording, and maybe you just don't open your eyes up. And I'd also say, I haven't spent as much time watching other people's videos. So see, now we can get into this conveyor. Let me get the F1 open. Oh yeah, you can definitely hire a worker. See that change angle there? That's like the third one from the bottom. That will dictate how much the hired worker will turn the conveyor. Oops, what happened there? So if we just pull this away for a minute, I'm going to disconnect. Oops, I'm going to try to disconnect. Oh, that's a G. So now I've disconnected that little front conveyor. See, if we run up to here and we hit X, we get in the little front conveyor. And I just had no idea you could do that. But then also, see how that tongue is down? We could also come in here. Why do I have Xbox control? Well, because I have an Xbox controller. So we hit X, and see how that tongue will lift up? There we go. I guess I could have been better prepared to show you guys that, but yeah. Let me just look down my comments real fast. I just want to also thank you guys for the encouragement and the positive words. I have to say that overall, you know, you hear, I mean, there's one guy, Farmer Beavis, I don't know if you ever watched him, he quit for all the negativity. And I have to admit, I mean, I've gotten a couple dislikes, and sometimes I think they're completely justified. And a couple, I mean, over the hundreds of likes you guys have given me over time, I've gotten a couple dislikes. And again, I think the one time the audio was messed up, I mean, I don't blame someone at that point. I do wish that people would, if you want to leave a dislike, you're not going to crush my ego or anything. I do kind of wish people would tell me why they disliked it. But then again, I guess it's nice to hear why they liked it too. So, you know, that's the only other thing is, hey, wait a minute, why did somebody dislike that video? You know, not saying I would change necessarily, but I would certainly consider doing it a little bit different if, you know, at that point. All right, so we're off the road, and we could probably start unfolding. We might as well talk and get some work done at the same time, huh? Yep, see, so we got a good, you can already tell, see where we're lined up there. So we are unfolded, or just about unfolded. We need to get over this way. There we go, get all backed up. But yeah, no, you guys have been very positive to me, and you know, it does mean a lot in a certain way. It certainly, you know, there's times you do this and you just want to get in there and play the game, but when you know you have a bunch of positive people behind you who are enjoying watching your videos, it's, you know, it's just nice at that point. It makes you a little bit more likely to do a video than not. And really, to be honest, at one point I had made a few videos, hardly anybody ever watched them. And I thought, well, what's the point? You know, if nobody's going to watch the video, I might as well just play the game. And, you know, since then, obviously, I've built up a few more people watching. And I just want to say I do appreciate the positive comments. And for those of you who just sit there and quietly watch, I understand that too. That's the way I tend to be with YouTube. I don't like a lot of videos, and I don't subscribe to a lot of other channels, so don't feel bad in any way. I'm not excluding you. Thanks for watching, and keep on enjoying it. And if you do have feedback, just let me know one way or the other, and keep the advice coming, because Lord knows I could use it at times. So, right, done one row. So we're getting a bit more set up on this map. Good thing. Even though we're not any richer, you know, when you own a business, which is what a farm is, you really don't want to have a lot of cash necessarily. You want to put that cash to work for you. So rarely when I do my farms will you ever see me having tons and tons of money. Just because I'll be buying the next field or the next upgrade to the piece of equipment or something along those lines. I do want to get this loan paid down on this map. We'll see. All right, well, I'm going to hop out of the cab real quick, and we'll fast forward through this field and play some music, and I will talk to you when we're done that. We'll get on to the next thing, which will be planting, by the way, if you haven't guessed that. All right, see you guys in a second. Alright, just about wrapped up here. So we'll have to talk about what we want to plant. I don't know if I thought about it before in the last episodes, but at this point we still don't have any harvesting equipment for corn or sunflowers, but I'll shut that off. Get this guy folding up. I think he'll keep folding while we're doing this. Let's get away from settings. Yeah, thank you very much for that camera sensitivity thing. That's going to be nice. All right, so let's look at our fertilization. We're good to go. And yeah, well, let's go back over to here. This will tell us as much as anything. So we have a bunch of barley, but we don't have a good price on it. And we sold off, what was it, soybeans when we made those, but I don't know. I don't know if there's something broke about Farm Sim 17, but soybeans seem to be the way to go outside of animals. Now, we do have enough of everything. Guys, I hate to be boring, and I don't know if I consider it that exciting to plant different crops, which we certainly will do. And soybeans, I know, don't give us the windrow, but we got enough straw to bury our house in. So I think I would like to plant some soybeans in both fields. I mean, they're relatively easy to plant. We don't need to cultivate them. Not that we have the equipment to do the sunflowers and we don't have the equipment for doing potatoes and sugar beets, so we do need to do something about that. So we'll see what happens there. As far as getting the animals go, like I said, we'll have to work on this, and then we'll have to work on, we got a ton of straw. We're going to have to work on grass, but we've already set ourselves up with a grass field, which would be, let's see, watch when I move my head just to look up there. This will be our grass field number 1. So it's saying it hasn't grown. Oh, no, sorry. Got to turn on the grass. So there we go. So let's see what our growth is on the, looks like the grass is ready to harvest. So let's go run by and take a look at that. So we're going to plant some soybeans just because I know I don't know. I really should probably calculate that that's actually a smart thing to do. Yield per acre wise. Like, in other words, if you get 3 times as much wheat and the price is half as much, you still make more per acre. Still have GPS. So we'll see. So we're all fertilized up. Another thing I would like to do on this map is, just so you know, is get a weeder. Now, I would only weed after the initial growth stage. So in other words, if I miss that stage, it doesn't make any sense to me to weed a fully grown crop. You're going to do more crop destruction, but to me it makes sense if you have just after the initial. So that will save us a few bucks each time on how much the fertilizer costs. So let's see what we can do with that. Now I want to just bring him back over here. This seems to be a pretty good home for him. This should be some more fertilizer, so we'll get this topped off. There we go. Let's see, does it make our thing disappear? No, good. So let's go bring him back over here, because that's where the new vehicle spawn point is. Alright, there we go. So we'll hop out. That guy's all ready to go, and we need to go find our planter, which means getting into this other tractor over here. So both fields are fertilized and ready to plant seeds, and we'll get our modded fertilizer planter out there. This is another thing to do, is get the TMR going, and we'll have grass soon, so we'll probably get that going in one of the next episodes here, just so we have it. And we also have this. This is a silage thing, I think, right? Easily distracted. I've been watching a guy, Angry Tom, and his City Skylines. Yeah, so we could jump chaff or grass in here and get silage from that without worrying about the bunkers. Let's hop in here and definitely get rid of that. Let's lower this a little bit. Yep. Alright, so Here's our planter, which used to be in a shed. Now the shed is no longer there. What am I doing? Didn't quite line that up right, but all right. So what do we have? We need to fill this thing up with some seeds. We probably should. Now let's also switch our crop, because I love to forget to switch my crop. Give it the chance. So we got it set to soybeans already. Let's stop by the. Oops. Let's use the fuel up in this thing. I don't know. Oh, geez, I ran right into it. It's going to be hard to resell if we put a big dent inside of it. Huh? Full fuel. So now let's just, I know we have some seeds over here. So like I said, we feel like we're doing better on the farm here. We got more of the equipment we need, and when you consider we started out with nothing but some forestry equipment, we're not doing too bad, really. All right, oops, let's pull forward a bit. There we go. Enough, yeah. Alright, that filled us up. We should have plenty of fertilizer here, I would think. There we go. Did we lose any of those? No, still got plenty in those. I guess we'll do field 6 first, huh? Let's get out over to this corner here, I suppose, and start this guy unfolding. Near the right place. Alright, so let's get our GPS on. And get that on. And get that on. Let's turn it 90 degrees. And move it over quite a bit. That's pretty good. Rather be a little extra than not enough. And are we even close to the right width? It would have probably been smart to hit that with adjust first, right? Yeah, we are. So 6.6. I like to go a little bit. No. What am I doing? Let's go in here real quick. I know I always do this. I should remember, but I just like to double check before I get started. So this is a mod. This is our mod, Knees Proceed. Or Kenza. I guess it depends on which country it came from. And in any event, 6.8. Yeah, so 6.6 is probably fine to make sure we don't miss anything. I don't know why it would be calculating so much different. But this was a nice mid-size cultivating cedars. The reason I went and got this mod, because it is 6, there seems to be a gap with cultivating cedars in game. Go. And, eventually, of course, we're going to want to get bigger, but bigger is more expensive. And until we have the fields to justify it, which, heck, this field's pretty darn big right here, so it takes quite a while to get this done. And at this point, we don't really have the money to course play everything. And I'm not one to sit there and course play things versus doing the manual labor either. Rather, at some point, just watching Farm Sim would not be very exciting. I like getting in there, driving the tractors, and getting things done. When your farm gets big enough, you hire extra people to help you do the work, as opposed to, I guess you could just hire people all the time. And in the long run, you probably could even get your farm more successful faster. But again, what would I have anybody else doing? This is the only tractor I have and the only planter, so. But I guess I could have hired somebody before this to go and there's a new beeping thing going on here. I don't know if you guys have noticed that. Not sure why it beeps like that. It only seems to do it like, I don't know. I guess I'll have to look into that one too. Maybe one of you guys know can let me know. All right, so I guess I'll, fast forward once again. I don't have too much more to say about planting this field. It's going to take me quite a while. Probably won't get done it until I have to go to work, but I might just even melt this one together and you'll just see a time change up there. So, okay, well, I will see you at the other end of this field unless something happens. got the one soybean field pretty much planted here. Turn my head tracking back on. So once we get this one done, I'm just going to hop right over and plant some more soybeans in field 3. It's taking quite a while. One of these days we'll get to course playing some of this, I suppose. We don't have a lot of money, and I definitely want to expand the fields, but this map has a lot of big fields. But we kind of need to increase our equipment, I think, before we get too excited about more fields. There we go. Yeah, so that beeping, that's kind of new. I guess it has something to do with course play. I don't really know. Something's making that beep. So let's head on over to field 3 right here and get this one planted. Well, we got a good view. Oops, don't have such a good view. Let me move this GPS over. There we go. All right, good enough. Close this off. Oops, we never did fold that. I guess technically we should have. There we go. And turn her on. Yeah, it could be this mod that's doing it. I don't really know. All right, well, let me fast forward through this. This field shouldn't take nearly as long, and we'll be back once it's done. And here we are on the last row of this field. So we will have a bunch of soybeans, and since soybeans seem to have the highest pricing, and again, I don't know about yield per acre, but they don't yield quite as much as the wheat, or well, definitely not as much as the wheat or the barley, but just because the price seems to go up a lot more often, I planted them. We could always switch and do something else, but like I said earlier in the episode, we got plenty of windrow, so it's not like that's a big deal for us. Alright, so let's get this guy folded up, turned off. Yeah, so it's something about this, I think it's this planter, sewing machine, whatever you want to call it, sower, that is, let's turn off the GPS, that is the reason for that beeping. So let's run back up to the shop. I might as well, I'd like to fill this guy back up with seed just to say I took care of business. Might empty out one of those drums so they're not in the way too. And I think this will be an episode for us. So we got these two fields. I want to check out, once we get up there to the map, make sure everything looks kind of good. Probably should have checked it out before I left the fields, but I'm not too worried about it. If I miss some little spots, I think I did a pretty good job. And eventually we'll get into some animals. It's all a matter of money. We don't need a TMR machine, which is kind of good. Let's see, so we make one of these things disappear with this. I think they hold 2,000, so we might not. No, probably sucked out of a different one. And why don't we fill up over here while we're at it. And given that we got a lot of parking space over here, I think most dealers would probably have... I think I might just park this guy over here, to be honest with you. It's not really going to be in the way of anything. And I don't really have room on the farm. Might even be... Well, we'll see if he changes things and add some other stuff to the map. And there we go. Let's hop out and take a quick look over here. So there's our fields. Might as well turn on the grass. That'll probably be our next project. We have to get a mower. Oh yeah, we really don't have any money either, do we? All right, well anyway, let's take a look at this. Yeah, I don't see anything too bad. A lot of that orange around there, that's all the grass. And if we look at the fertilization, yeah, there's some dark spots, which probably were things that were missed with the last harvest. Like, remember that little spot out in the field, and then probably missed a couple little spots up there. This field looks perfect. So we are in business. Nothing needs to be plowed. Well, at least not our fields don't need to be plowed. There we go. So, well, as always, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. It was back to farming in this episode, so we'll see about, maybe see if we can come up with the money. Let's take a look. See, I should be saying goodbye. I'm getting distracted. Lawn mowers. Mowers. Yeah, that guy's only 11,000 here. It's nice to get that set up, but that's going to be 50,000. Then you kind of need a rake or something like that. So, I'm not sure what the deal is with this guy, if he's any different. Hopefully we don't. This thing will also, by the way, get affected if the map isn't right. So maybe I'll look for a map update. It's been a little while, not too long, but we'll see. All right, guys. Again, I hope you enjoyed the episode. Take care of yourselves and have a good day. Bye-bye.